My girlfriend gave my best friend a BJ. My girlfriend, best friend, and I are a trio of some sorts. We're really close and my best friend Toby has been with me since middle school. We're all 20. I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years and never imagined her doing something like this. She was shy. She was uncomfortable with intimate experiences and I was her first. Now she comes to me yesterday bragging about how she gave Toby head. I was effing appalled. She told me she wanted to date both me and Toby at the same time, that we both fulfilled her needs and Toby was okay with it. I never screamed so loud in my life and I think my voice is hoarse. I blocked her and Toby everywhere. Then they started calling my mom trying to explain that my girlfriend and I were in an open relationship. I never saw this coming. We three were very close but I didn't expect her to F him. How could I miss the signs?
My husband wanted to sleep with other people, now he's upset about me doing it. My husband basically begged for a year, maybe longer, to sleep with other people. He knew I didn't want it. I told him no over and over and over. I was crying so many times after he would ask. I told him I was depressed about it. I didn't want it. Why does he want other people? He said it's nothing about me. He just wants to see what it's like with other people. That I look good but he isn't doing it because of looks. Basically just wanted to try anyone else. After he wouldn't stop I said fine. I told him I didn't want to do it but he would not quit asking so fine just go for it. He did some stuff with a person but not full-blown lovemaking. That's all he's done. He told me when he was begging that whole time that I can do it too and I can go have fun and go away for the night. Well, I wasn't that interested but I started talking to someone and the conversation just went that way. I haven't felt wanted like this in forever. Keep in mind he told me a week ago I can go find someone and just tell him when I'm going. So I told him last week I'm talking to someone. Then the other night said okay I'm going to do it. Well then he comes to me the next day and says he was so sad about it and couldn't sleep all night and he is scared I'm going to leave him. I told him honestly I'm pretty pissed because I felt like that for a year and he knew how I didn't want to do it but he kept begging so he's getting what he wanted. So now he's saying he regrets it and he feels bad for doing that to me. I told him oh well he did it and it's bullshit to change it when it's benefiting me. I honestly might divorce if he tells me I can't because he put me through so much shite. I do not want to be a single mom but I am pretty mad about this. I gave him what he wanted after all of that torment and heartache and now he is pulling this. He said he hasn't changed his mind but if he does then I'm done. He wanted this. He got it. He didn't care about how much it hurt me.
Today I messed up by forgetting what my wife was wearing. So my wife has an identical twin sister. It's incredibly difficult to tell them apart if I don't make a mental note of what she is wearing before we go to family gatherings. Even then, they tend to wear eerily similar outfits without any planning. I guess it's that twin telepathic link. I don't know but it's weird as F. So, 2 days ago we were invited to a family dinner at her parents' house. The whole family came. I was last to go through the line to get dessert, so I walked into the family room, where everyone was eating, and realized I completely forgot what my wife was wearing. It didn't help that we all had been drinking pretty heavily. I had no idea who to sit by, so I decided to just stand in the corner and eat my pie until I figured it out. Well, before I knew it, my confusion got the best of me and I ended up screwing her dad. It's super awkward now and I don't know what to do. My dad accidentally airdropped me an intimate video of his cousin. My 16 female to male, dad, 55 male, accidentally airdropped me a video of his cousin, 19 female, Claire. I don't think he's aware that he sent it to me, since he hasn't brought it up and neither have I. I pulled an all-nighter just thinking about what to do, and I ended up telling my mom. Since then, I logged into my dad's WhatsApp on my laptop so I could help my mom gather more proof on my dad cheating on her again, this time with his own cousin, who also happens to have a child of her own. It is important to mention that my mom is currently at my grandmother's, who lives far away and plans on bringing it up and filing for divorce after New Year's. Once she is back, we are also looking to move out, since the rent is expensive and the house is too big for us. My dad isn't aware of anything yet, but I'm sure hell will break loose, and my relationship with my dad will be permanently damaged. I caught him cheating once, back when I was 10, and he called me a traitor since he told me not to tell my mom. 6 years later, I caught him again and I'm worried that he might get physical this time, as I'm older and should have known better, because I'm a daddy's girl and shouldn't betray him this way. I really needed to get this out, and I'm still not sure what to do in this situation. I'm not that young anymore and stuff but honestly, I am kinda scared, though I prefer to laugh it off. Today I messed up with my wife of 14 years. I messed up over the last few years, after a pretty traumatic event, started to drink heavily. I am not the same person my wife met and fell in love with. I've had the plan to begin my path to an alcohol-free life in 2023, but today happened. I had a stressful morning, I had a drink, then I went to the group I'm participating in to become alcohol-free in 2023. The one drink I had this morning, I beat myself up about and went to group 4, was the landslide. I was feeling defeated and hopeless. Unbeknownst to her, it was only one, and the group helped me not go for number 2. However, when she got home she wanted to chat about something related to my drinking last week. I got super defensive and said things I shouldn't have. After 14 years, she's now driving back to our hometown and won't talk to me. Her last text was, "I'm glad you plan to work on yourself, but maybe in a year, the universe and you will be in a better place to be together." I waited too long and expected too much. Dang it. My fiancée gave a guy a BJ during her bachelorette party. I'm more shocked than livid. My wife had her bachelorette party in a strip club while I was asleep. Around 2 a.m., I got a call from a close friend of hers telling me to check my messages. I open it up and I had turn on the lights and wash my face and take my meds before watching the video again. She captioned the video, "Is this the woman you want to spend the rest of your life with?" I was in denial. I know my fiancée and know she would never pull a prank on me like this. I kept watching the video over and over again and guys, it's her. Holy crap, how could she do this to me? I trusted her and this is what I got back. I'm thinking about calling off the wedding, but I don't want to be so emotional. I also don't want her to know that I've seen the video because I feel it will affect our relationship in the long run. Maybe if I just act like it never happened, it would make things better. Okay, so my friend who sent the video told me if I don't break things off with my fiancée, she'll post the video. My hands are tied now. I'll be holding off the wedding for now. I just need a good excuse. Yes, what my fiancée did was wrong, but I don't want her to bear that scar for the rest of her life. I'll do what I think is best. My girlfriend made love with another guy and I'm feeling extremely guilty. The situation is very hurtful because me and my girlfriend recently moved in together and things were going great. We both had a great relationship with each other families. Now everyone is upset with me because I asked her to take a break and I'm considering to break up. We had talked about experimenting with trios which turned us on a lot. We agreed that we would try it twice, once with another guy and once with another girl. We were really both into it. So long story short, we met this guy and we both agreed to do it. After a few drinks we went home with him. We were really turned on at first, but just before we started, I started getting a bit uncomfortable and then they started kissing and making love, and after a short while it just felt awful. I couldn't even get turned on and it was basically the two of them making love. It was the most embarrassing thing I ever experienced. They did try a lot to include me, to be fair, which made it even more embarrassing as I couldn't do anything. So I tried to get over it, but I just can't. It was too embarrassing and uncomfortable for me. I'm causing everyone to be upset and I'm feeling extremely guilty towards my girlfriend because I was in until the last moment and she even asked me if I was sure before starting and I said yes. I've never seen her this hurt and our families are both really upset and asking me to reconsider. They don't know what happened, of course. What should I do? I can't go on in the relationship when I feel so ashamed and humiliated by how it went that I can't even look my girlfriend in her eyes without feeling the embarrassment. What's a company secret you can share now that you don't work there? They are out of business now. But in the early 90s I worked at Radio Shack for a year and a half. When people would return an item because it didn't work, the manager of the store would just box it back up and sell it again as if it were new. When I asked him about it he said, hopefully they will return it to a different store. I nearly got fired when I refused to sell a guy a walkie-talkie CB radio that I knew didn't work. The guy was on his way out for a hunting trip and was buying 3 of these for him and his friends. We had 2 and the third was the broken one, in front of the customer. I told the manager that one didn't work and I had tested it. The guy was happy I told him. We arranged for him to get the last one he needed at a different store and off he went. The manager was livid with me and nearly fired me. I'm sorry, I'm not sending people out into the forest with gear I know doesn't work. Hilariously, a few months later the manager was caught stealing from the store and got fired.
Previous homeowners stopped by to check on their home. I was just outside, at the end of the driveway, bringing up the trash cans and a car pulled up to me and stopped. It was the couple we bought our home from in May 2022. After a brief conversation, they asked if they could come inside and see what we had done with their home. I politely declined. Husband is out of town. House is a mess. Laundry everywhere. I had just finished working. I have 2 dogs to walk, and I just want to relax and watch some hockey tonight. They seemed miffed and kind of drove off in a huff. My husband texted me a few minutes later asking me why I didn't let them come in. They texted him after I said, no, not tonight, maybe another time when my husband is home. Am I crazy? We don't owe them anything. We bought the house, outright, and paid $15,000 over the asking price, because it's our dream home and location. We even let them store stuff in the 3rd stall of our garage for 3 months after the move because their new build wasn't finished and they ran out of money for storage. I wouldn't mind at all if they would like to come by, at an agreed upon date and time, to tour our home. I'm tired, just wanted to get this off my chest.
Today I messed up by putting my self-defense lessons to use on a goose in front of my coworkers. So it's the usual Monday morning. I get out of bed, prep a meal, head out to work, yada yada, you know how it goes. Everything is as predictable as it can get with one exception. This time when I get to the front door of the office building, there is a goose standing guard and right behind the glass door I see my coworkers who are taking a video because the jerks already knew what was about to happen. The goose makes eye contact and I avoid looking directly into its eyes to avoid confrontation. Then I start gently stepping around it trying to find a way to get to the door without agitating it. Needless to say the goose hissed at every attempt and after 10 minutes, he effing had enough. I ran and he ran after me, then I tried to circle back around to the front door but he was just too fast. Left with no other option, I conquered my fears and faced the beast. The goose flew at Mach 2 towards my face, my reflexes kicked in and I roundhouse kicked the poor bastard so hard it walked away limping somehow. My coworkers are now intimidated or something, because I usually have 3 to 5 people visit my cubicle daily, but no one has done so since the incident. Today I messed up by going home without my mom knowing. So for context, I 16 male currently live with my mom and my younger brother. My mom has been single for a while, so she got into a relationship about 3 weeks ago. I've met her boyfriend like 2 to 3 times. I'm not home too much. I spend most of the time in a completely different city not even close to my mom's home. And at first I was surprised that my mom has a boyfriend 12 years younger than her, but he was nice and funny so I talked to him for a while and after that I went to my room and slept until the next day. Here comes the story. Today after school I decided I'm going to stop by my mom's just to say hi and stuff, because I had less lessons in school and had like 4 hours of spare time. So I got on a bus, and when I came to the street my mom's house was on. I started to pull out my keys. Also, it's really important to say that I really often walk or do anything very silently for whatever reason. So I got to the door and tried to open the door silently, because why not, and saw my mom's boyfriend's shoes. I was happy because we could talk and it would kill my spare time. After I closed the door after myself, I opened the door to the living room to see my mom and her boyfriend making love with these weird flower necklaces and bracelets on their bodies. I stood there for a second and slowly closed the door, and silently got out of there. Now I'm sitting on a bench in a nearby park waiting like 30 minutes and then hopefully coming back to my dressed up mom without flowers on her arms, neck or thighs.